Oh, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Storm of Gaming. So, you don't see the title, you should have seen what happened, but this makes no sense. Like, logically, this makes no sense whatsoever. So, to start, Wagner or Prigozhin just went completely insane. He decides to declare war on the Russian MOD because of accusations that they bombed his soldiers. He took over Rostov, he was heading to Moscow, and now, apparently, for what I'm hearing, he brokered a deal with Lushenko to de-escalate the situation so there is no civil war. But this actually comes to something that I think is the problem. That this shows how unstable the Russian government and military forces are. Like, you saw how quick his advance was? He was that close to Moscow. Could you imagine if no one was able to negotiate with him or satisfy him, he would have went all the way. So now it seems like nothing will come of it, but this must have disrupted a lot of things, because these things, and I'm not sure how this whole situation is going to work out with Wagner. Either Wagner is going to be out of the war entirely, or something worse may happen where the MOD might want revenge, or Putin being paranoid and want to eliminate Prigozhin. But this whole situation is kind of stupid. Like, you don't see this with America with any mercenary force like Blackwater. Like, this situation is so wacky. It feels cartoonish. It feels like a Blackadder skit. Honestly. I don't know how to take this out. This doesn't really give. This actually shows how low the Russian military is. Like, the situation is just so bad now for them. Like, who can they trust? Because because there's a reason why. Because in history, there's a reason why you don't rely on private armies that are under the leadership of leaders with their own agendas that could conflict with your own. For example, what happened to China? China had a policy of private armies under their own generals, basically private armies to fight for them. And then when central leadership of the Qing dynasty collapsed, it became the warlord era. So and we're seeing multiple of these groups, especially the most prominent one today, Wagner, and none of them like each other. Not the Russian military, not Gazprom, not Wagner. And you have to wonder, and with this, it's like, there is a supply that it hasn't fully broke out yet. And honestly, I don't understand this whole situation. Like, what's going to happen now? Is Wagner just going to be forgiven after all of this? Like, what's going to happen now? Because Wagner has to be out of this war because the Russians can't rely on this force anymore to deal with this conflict. They're too unstable. Prigozhin is clearly too unstable to deal with. So why keep him there? Why keep him there? Like, I'm gonna keep check up on this. I'm just saying this out right now. I specifically waited a day and a half to make a video about this. But oh boy, Russia is a mess. This war is break. I'm gonna tell you this though. This war is breaking Russia. Like, we're seeing it now. Now, even though they have not collapsed, they are at the process of it. Because if this group was able to get away with this much, or if it's worse, Wagner gets no consequences for this, what's going to say about the other forces that have their own agendas? Like, and if they then get no victory or get total defeat in Ukraine, could you imagine what's going to happen to Putin and the government after that? And with all the private militaries in that country? I just find it interesting, and it's interesting how all the Russian bots and shills are now quiet. None of them are saying nothing about the whole situation. They've just been peep shut and just say nothing. Because how can you say anything when when the country you worship is collapsing on itself? But yeah, this is an interesting experience. Just seeing a cool attempt. I'm not sure how this whole thing is gonna pan out. Honestly, I might make another video if something extraordinary happens again. If Wagner starts again, or Putin attempts something, because if Putin attempts to kill Prigozhin, but it doesn't work, Prigozhin may actually fully go to war this time instead of threatening like he did now. And that's going to be a whole can of worms that Putin doesn't want to deal with. So I'm not sure what he's going to do. He may be a paranoid dictator, but he can't be reckless like Shoigu did. And all of this is because the Russian military the Ministry of Defense just can't work with Prigozhin, and Prigozhin doesn't want to work with them. It's the and it's just comical. This whole situation has been comical. It just shows how weak Russia is, that a private military actively threatened the country for a couple of days, to the point where the capital was actually threatened when they were actually trying to fortify it. But again, the situation is early. We need to see more if it pans out, or if something bigger happens or not. But well, this is I guess it's just another day in Russia, really. Just another disastrous day for Russian politics, and another reason why they never should have invaded Ukraine. See you guys next time.